Everybody's obsessed with food. Food tells the story of Israel and tells a story of things that can be really, really ugly in life, but also the chance to be beautiful because everybody loves to eat. I'm Mike Solomonov, and I'm 39 years old, and I'm the chef and co-owner of Zahav. So I was born in Israel. We moved to the States when I was 3. I had my little brother David here in Pittsburgh. That's where we grew up, and then we moved back when I was about 15. I was like a 15-year-old angry pothead that did not want to leave. Yeah, it was rough. I was 19 and I was walking up and down the street asking people if they needed help. I needed a job, and I got a job in a bakery, and that's when I started cooking. There was no privilege there, and I was level playing fields with everybody, and there was something really honest about that I hadn't experienced before. I learned how to work, and I learned how to be humble, and it was I should do this because I'm not dead or in jail, and everybody in my family is high-fiving each other because I now have passion. And then I flew back to the States, was working full-time and going to school, and really got a taste of what being a chef would be like, and fell in love with it and excelled, actually. I hadn't been back to Israel since before culinary school, so my mom says, I will buy a plane ticket for you. You have to come, your brother is on break from the military. And then I flew over to Israel, and I explored Israel through the lens of this chef, It was a very different. I was planning this meal for my mom and her friends, and my brother and I were up and down the country, sourcing things, getting spices, and there were so many different things that made up what it was that we were eating and talking about. So we put together these amazing dinners and had a great time, and I left really reconnected with my brother, which was, discover your best friend again. So said goodbye to him, and then I got a call from my aunt, and she told me that David had been killed patrolling the border between Israel and Lebanon outside of an apple orchard, and it was 3 days before his release, so we were all under the impression that he was kind of done. And David was just the nicest kid, and so gentle and so compassionate. It just seemed of the two of us, for one of us to die really tragically, he was the wrong one, and I wasn't interested in doing what I was doing before. I was interested mostly in being self-destructive, in abusing drugs. And then I wanted to start cooking Israeli food. Maybe that was the turning point for me. I can't bring everybody over to Israel. I can't show them this beautiful apple orchard where Dave died. And I think that sort of became the ethos or the purpose for me in my life. And then, I met my business partner, Steve, a few years later. We started cooking Israeli food at his new American restaurant, and then people got excited about it. And Israeli foods kind of snuck onto the menu, and people loved it, and we loved it. And we said, let's open this Israeli restaurant. And then in 2008, we opened Zahav. 2008 was not a great year to open an Israeli restaurant. And I was also hiding an extreme drug addiction, which is not also a great time to open a restaurant. So we almost went under. We were copy pasting Israeli dishes and putting them here, and it just didn't, listen, there's snow on the ground right now. I'm not gonna serve chopped Israeli salad and expect it to taste the way it should in Israel. And then you realize Israeli cuisine and Jewish cuisine is that, it's heritage and it's technique and it's stories and it's all these things. And then it's the ingredients in the community that you're in. So I think that we're just kind of we're part of it. We're part of something greater. I wanted to represent Israel. I wanted to make a case for Israel. I wanted to fight for Israel. I wanted to speak a little bit for Israel. And the way to do that was through food.